The night began well for Brazilian fighters in Sao Paulo at UFC Fight Night 119, but it ended badly for the local fans and fighters. After seeing Brazilian fighters win 9 of the first 10 fights on the card, Derek Brunson blew through the returning Lyoto Machida in the first round with a definitive KO in the main event. In the co-main event, the boisterous Colby Covington battered Sao Paulo native Demian Maia en route to a unanimous decision victory. Machida was making his return from a 2-year absence after being suspended 18 months for a doping violation, but Brunson made sure his stay in the octagon was a short one. A hard counter left hook dazed the 39-year-old former light heavyweight champion, and 2 more vicious shots as Machida was down left him out cold, and the referee stopped the fight. The win was worth one of the performance of the night bonuses for Brunson. Brunson came into the fight ranked No. 7 at 185 pounds. If nothing else, he'll maintain his spot. He called out Luke Rockhold during his post-fight interview. It's a logical matchup as Rockhold attempts to ascend back to a level that enables him to regain his title. Brunson has yet to make it to that point, but a win over Rockhold would be a strong step in the right direction. In the co-main event, Covington endured a shaky first round that saw the normally striking challenged Maia open up a nasty cut over his right eye with well-placed left hands. Covington stayed calm, chopped at Maia's leg with leg kicks, and ultimately wore the Brazilian down. Covington stuffed all 13 of Maia's takedown attempts and left the veteran a bloody mess as time expired in the 3rd round. As bad as the result was for the Brazilian fans to accept, Covington added insult to injury with his post-fight rant. He refused to allow the Portuguese translator to speak, and instead used the time to call the Brazilian people dogs, and he also referred to the country as a dump. It was one of the most disrespectful post-fight interviews I can recall, but I'm sure that's what Covington was trying to accomplish. He needed extra security to exit the arena in what was an uncomfortable scene. Covington called out welterweight champion Tyron Woodley as well, so we'll see if he's able to secure the title opportunity after going full heel. Zaleski dos Santos and Griffin brawled to fight of the night honors. There were a number of twists during the prelim battle between Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos and Max Griffin. Early on, dos Santos looked to have Griffin out on his feet after he'd been dropped during the opening moments of the first round. The American came back in the 2nd round to score another knockdown, but dos Santos would again regain control of the fight in a battle that was pleasing to the eye of fight fans. It didn't score the highest on the fight score. That distinction went to the Davis and Figueiredo versus Jarred Brooks bout, but you won't get an argument out of me for this FOTN winner. Pedro Munhoz's guillotine is nasty. After being dazed by Rob Font's jab at the beginning of the first round, Pedro Munhoz found his range with striking. After hurting Font with a sweeping hook, he wasted no time pouncing on his opponents and sinking in his patented guillotine to elicit the quick submission. Munhoz locked in the maneuver with just one arm secured, but his proficiency with the finish is so good, that's all it took. This was his fourth submission win with the guillotine in the UFC. He won the other POTN bonus.